Hey guys, I'm Amy Cornell. I'm your Texas broker for Front Real Estate, here to help you real estate better. So what about a walkthrough? Is that a thing? I know it seems like an urban legend sometimes, but really a walkthrough for your buyer prior to closing is a really important thing to make sure that they have a chance to see the property and know, hey, this is what I'm buying in this condition as of today. So it does not have to be the exact same day, but I will tell you, for me, that's my process. I like it to be the same day. And so I normally schedule it right before closing. So if we're closing at 10 and the title company is 20 minutes away from the house, I'm going to schedule it at 9:15, maybe 9:30 even, and tell them, hey, look, this is just a quick 5 to 15 minute walk through the house. We're just going through to check to make sure that no water heaters have exploded, that no vagrants have moved in, there's no damage, like they didn't accidentally punch a hole in the wall when they were moving the couch down the stairs, something like that. And then also to confirm that whatever repairs were done are actually done. Now, we would also have repair invoices to go with that, or some sort of paid invoices. And so I'm not totally, I'm not the expert on all things repairs, but I could see, if a window was supposed to be replaced, that the window was replaced, those kind of things. So those are really the things that I'm looking for. It is not a super complicated process, but this is a great time to give that buyer that one last chance to look at the house, because they likely have not seen it since, before when we were doing that inspection, which could have been 3 weeks ago, y'all. They need to see it that one last time. Even if there is a temporary lease, they still need to see it that last time so that they know what they're buying. And I say in air quotes because it's like, well, if there's a temporary lease, then they still can't see absolutely everything about the house, but hopefully it will give them some indication. Now, I get panicked calls from time to time from my agents that are saying, hey, we are here at walkthrough and either the repair was not done, or the house is trashed, or the yard looks like crap, like they have not left it in condition they should have. Well, I always go back to the contract then and say, okay, where does it say what condition the seller was supposed to leave the house in? Well, it doesn't really. The Texas contract is fairly silent to it. It does say similar condition. It's hard to say exactly what that means, but if the house was spick and span clean when y'all saw it the first time and now it's trashed out, then yeah, I do think there is an expectation that the seller was going to leave it in better condition. I will tell you, a lot of times I see really crapped out houses initially. And so, I don't think that there is any expectation that that is going to be even broom cleaned or anything like that prior to closing. And there is nothing in the contract that says that. That doesn't mean that I want the buyer to go through and close a house that they are not comfortable with. And so this final walkthrough is that last time for them to say, yeah, I am okay. I'm going to close on this house, knowing that it looks just like it does right this minute. If they are not comfortable with that, then they should stop. They should stop the closing process. They should not go forward until they are comfortable. And so that may mean that you, as their buyer's agent, has to jump into action, have to go in and say, okay, house is not clean, needs to be cleaned. How can we figure this out? Let's get with the listing agent. Let's get with the seller. Is the seller willing to give some additional money so that the buyer will actually show up at closing? Is the seller willing to go over and start cleaning right now to make sure that happens, to get the mowers out, to figure it out? Hey, whatever it needs to take to get that buyer comfortable with, hey, I'm ready to go and close, that's what it's going to take. And so until your buyer is comfortable, just don't rest. Like, there is not anything that says, oh, well, that's really not my problem. Nope, it is your problem. We need to figure out how to get that okay. So just know that is part of a final walkthrough. There are going to be a few times that happens. Hopefully not many in your whole career, but it is something that could potentially happen. So after the buyer does that final walkthrough, I do want them to sign a walkthrough and acceptance form. I'm going to show this to you here. So this is just a very simple form. This is not a TREC form. This is a Texas Realtors form. So keep in mind that means that your attorneys that work for Texas Realtors prepared this, not TREC. And so this is just saying, hey, the seller is going to deliver possession of the property to the buyer in the present condition, and that the property, it confirms, was the property inspected, and then it confirms that the buyer has walked through prior to closing. Again, this is a great risk management tool. This is something that really, it should be loaded into SkySlope. If your company uses SkySlope or whatever transaction management tool, it should be in your permanent record so that way you show, hey, buyer, you had that one last chance before you bought it to really make sure that everything was okay. The buyer can choose to fully have the house re-inspected prior to closing. I will tell you, most of the time they don't want to go to that additional cost. Even if there were repairs done, they have those invoices so that they have some confirmation that they were done. But if the buyer wants to have, a whole nother inspection or a different electrician or whatever come in and do that, that is totally within their right as well. So hopefully, this answers questions. This is something that really should be part of your system. And again, that systemization is what makes all of this so much easier, right? If you just know every time before closing, I go and do a walkthrough, then it's the same for everybody. And it doesn't have to recreate the wheel every time. You just always do that walkthrough for your buyers right before closing. Hope that helps. And you're almost there, almost to closing. Thanks.